Is up, everybody? It's Nathan Payne, and I'm here with my man right here, Sean Young. What's up, Sean?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Good to see you, brother. So, hey, today, everybody, if you're tuning in, you're like, why should I spend my time watching this? Look, I have a deal right now. I have a seller that's extremely motivated. He's got a property in the $1 million range, and it's currently listed on the MLS. Look, he's got it listed. He had it listed at 1.2. Then he's like, oh, dude, I think he dropped it to 1.1. And he was telling me, he's like, look, bro, if you can just buy this thing from me at 1.5, I'll sell it to you. Now, the house doesn't really need to be flipped. That's the weird thing. But we've got it all the way down to 875. Okay. And this house is
Okay.
probably worth about 1.2, 1.1 if you just had time. The guy does not have time. He needs to take action. He's like, I got to go right now. So, what I'm going to do, like if I bought this deal right now at 875 cash with a hard money loan and I just put it on the MLS for 1.1 or 1.2 and paid the hard money costs, the monthly interest costs, I would probably still come out $100,000 to $200,000. But instead of just doing that, I like to just see what the market says. I like to do a temperature gauge, right? So, Sean, I don't know if you ever do this where you're like, hey, I'm about to, I can flip this thing. I'm thinking about it, but let me temperature gauge. Let me just blast it out, or let me just reach out to some of my buyers and see if they would be interested. Because if everyone's saying
Absolutely.
no, I might be missing something. Have you tell me
No,
if
absolutely. 100%. I'm with you. You've got to go with the best solution, the best exit strategy that makes the most sense. At first, when you're getting started, you don't think of it like that. You're just like, hey, whatever we can do the easiest and the quickest, let's do it and get it done. But as you become more tenured, or you should do it really from the beginning. You should definitely be thinking like that from the very beginning, which is how
yes.
can I maximize these opportunities the best from the beginning.
Exactly. So if everybody's here, if you get a property that's on the MLS and they're super motivated, you're probably like, why doesn't the guy just drop his price on the MLS? If he's willing to sell it to me at 875 and he's got it listed at 1.1, why doesn't he drop it more? I think there comes a point, in my opinion, where these people are like, they're holding out hope. They're like, maybe someone will see it. And if I drop it to 875, then I'm kind of like, I'm kind of shooting myself in the foot. So they're willing, for everyone that does deals on MLS, they're willing to keep their price higher on the MLS in hopes, and instead of dropping it down what they'll sell it to you for, because they're hoping someone will overpay.
Indeed.
Is that right, Sean?
I agree. I agree with you.
Okay, so this deal, again, this is a property I have. We know that there's motivation. So if you're doing deals with people on the MLS or that are listed, if you've never done it, you're like, why would they sell to a cash buyer? Again, there's motivated sellers that are on the market, and right now in Utah, properties aren't moving as fast as people would like. I think this house has been on the market maybe 30, 45 days, and for some people, that's too long. They're starting to get antsy. So we make offers that make sense. Again, we can get this house under contract. It's going to make sense if we buy it. Temperature gauge. So we're going to use batch leads to look for some buyers using their filter to find cash buyers who have bought and purchased properties within the last year in this area that have them listed and that they bought them for cash. Okay, so I'm going to roll this TV in here. Sean, while I'm rolling this in here, do you have anything you want to add while we kind of show people how to find cash buyers, whether it's $1 million cash buyer or low cash buyers?
No, but I want folks out. I do want to add one quick little thing. Don't be afraid to go after properties that are in this range, that are in the $1 million range. Do not be afraid to go after properties. A lot of times you may get a property that comes up in your lead database. You're like, man, this is $800,000, $900,000. That's out of my range. No, it's not. Try to approach it. Fail your way through it. Take massive imperfect action. You'll figure it out as you get through it. And those deals are just as lucrative, if not way more lucrative, than the lower dollar deals.
100%. Yeah. Like if you ever get a deal in California, in like Utah, Oregon, Washington, where these properties are like 500,000 and up, the wholesale fees are just bigger. That's just because there's just there's more money in the deal.
Absolutely.
If you do a deal like in Mississippi, or the Midwest, that you can get lucky. I've done big deals out there, but sometimes it's like you're dealing with like lower range, like 5, 10K. When you guys heard
Yep.
200K, you're like, what? 200,000? That's crazy. Well, it's because we're dealing with $1 million property, right?
Exactly.
So everybody that's watching this, what we're going to do is we're going to go to property search. Oh, let's see if, okay. So property search over here, I'm going to type in the
Yep.
area I want. It's Harriman, Utah is where it's at. Okay.
Okay.
And so what is already happening over here is it's coming up with all the listed properties in that area of where I'm looking at. Okay. And you can go boundary and you can go specific on exactly where you're looking for. You can like circle a specific area. But we don't need to do that at the moment. So if you want to find cash buyers here, what I do is I actually go through and filter it the way I want. Okay. So I'm going to go to all classifications. I'm going to residential. We're going to go single family and max bedroom bath. I don't really care about that. MLS status. I want it to be on the market right now. And I want the listing date to be within the last 12 months. Okay. That they've listed it, because it potentially, the flipper, basically what you're looking for is someone that purchased the house for cash and it's listed within the same year. Okay. So we got here MLS status. I don't care. I can do active or pending. You can also do sold too, but this is Utah's a non-disclosure state. So it's probably not going to return that much data because, batch, as good as batch or any of these things are, they don't, if you don't have access to non-disclosure state, it's gonna be hard to get that data.
Yep.
Okay, so then you scroll down here. I don't know if everyone can see this. I got a standing desk because I get more pumped to stand. But anyway, you go to cash buyers at the very bottom, and you say, okay, yes to cash buyers that have been a cash purchase. I don't care if it's company owned or individually owned, because I'm not calling these buyers directly. I'm calling the agent. We're going to go purchase amount. You could set a minimum purchase amount. Let's go minimum $500,000. Because maybe they bought it and they updated it.
And usually buyers that are in that price point, they are a particular type of buyer as well. So definitely make sure that you're looking for buyers that have experience in that price range for sure.
Dang right. And then you go within the last 12 months that they purchased it for cash, and then they've listed it within the last. You can do 3 months. You can do whatever you want, but I'm just kind of showing you guys. And then same property and mailing address, that's down here. It basically, they're saying, okay, is this the same address where the person lives if they bought it? For me, I want it to be separate because I don't want that. If someone bought it for cash, they probably just had cash, they're living in it. I want a flipper, right? So return, let's see, only include properties where mailing address and property address, exclude properties where mailing address and property addresses are the same. Okay, that's what I want. Exclude them, because we don't want the grandma that just had $800,000 cash. Well, she's not really a cash buyer we're looking for. She's just had cash. Okay. And we're going to apply this and we're going to see what it comes up with. What high-end flips have happened in that area, and what agents can I call that have represented those, those buyers? Okay. So let's see. Okay, and then you can save the list if you want. So it actually sent, when I did the filter, I do have to actually pick the specific area. It's going to give me the whole United States. Okay. So Sean, anything I need to clarify for the people that are maybe new to this and they're like, I don't know what he's doing?
No, you're doing a good job. You're walking through the filters to understand how do we actually pinpoint the buyer. What is their buy box? That's what the filter helps you with. Right now, we're looking for all the listings, all the properties that have been, like you say, bought within a year, bought and sold within a year. That gives you the indication that they're cash buyer investors, not someone who's living in the property, like you said, not grandma who inherited $800,000 and she's moved into a nice, good house. No, this is totally different scenario. So you're right on point.
Love it. Okay, let's see. Well, hey, maybe I need to fix up these filters because it's saying there's not a lot of options out here, but that can't be true. So I must have jacked some up. So now look, I'm calling the agents because I know agents in that price range, they're going to have multiple buyers that deal with this kind of scenario. So let's see.
And while you're pulling that, do you think that the data is limited right now because it's a non-disclosure state?
It shouldn't be because we're looking at like list data that's listed. I usually don't have a problem with finding it. Okay. So maybe my range was a little bit smaller, but I do have one right here that's pending. Let's take a look at it. Let's call this agent right here. And usually they will show you pictures of the property to see if it was flipped or not. But sometimes it doesn't because of the non-disclosure. But let's see. Let's call this agent. So you just go to the MLS data and then you have their information right here. So his name is Mark Butler. So I'd call Mark and I'd have that conversation with Mark, right? And I'm going to do it live so everyone can see what it sounds like. So usually this will return like the brokerage's number, and I don't care about the brokerage. I want to call Mark Butler directly. So you just type in him, and then you type in the brokerage that he works for, which is Butler Realtors. Okay, so I think he owns his own brokerage. Good for him. So this guy should be savvy.
Indeed.
Mark Butler Realtors. Butler Realtors. And by the way, guys, the reason I'm doing it on this screen is because if I show it to you live on my screen, YouTube usually is like, oh, you're showing information. So that's why I'm doing it over here. Let's see, Mark Butler.
Yeah, YouTube has definitely cracked down on that for sure.
Yeah, exactly, brother. Butler Realtors. And the interesting thing about this, everybody, is like we're dealing in a higher price range, so we're gonna find buyers that are maybe a little bit more picky about what they're getting, right? And this property I have, it's a funky one. It's got like a ton of land. It's gonna require like the right buyer, right? It's not gonna be an easy, like it's not a cookie cutter dispo. And the way I like to do the painless wholesale way is I already have my buyers in place. And that's actually who offered the 875. I'm working with one of my buyers. He's like, yo, let's take this thing down, but let's try and see if anybody else would take it. So I've kind of already gone through the process of, I have a buyer that wants to buy it, but he's like, before I buy this, let's just see if I'm not crazy. Right. So let's call Mark Butler really quick. Hey, and I know you got to go, Sean. So go ahead.
So really quickly before I jump off, so just to be clear, you have a buyer that's willing to pay $875.
That's correct.
I got it. And your seller, where is he at as far as price? Is he still at the one?
So this property was so funky. Instead of me trying to wholesale it and negotiate it, I didn't even know 875 was as low as they would go. I just said, hey, bro, this might be something you're interested in. Like if you decide to flip it, just cut me in on a little bit. So he's actually gone in and he did the negotiating. He told me, hey, the lowest I'll go is 875. I'll buy it. And then if I flip it, we can figure out a split, since he did the whole thing. And for me, he's like, but hey, let's blast this out. Let's see if we can wholesale it first. Right. And I have it as low as 875. The lowest they said they'd go for me was 105. So he really freaking brought him down. So that's what I do a lot too, Sean, is sometimes I'm like, man, I don't even want to spend my time working on this. This is such a funky deal. But he went and did the legwork, and now we're working together, almost like JVing essentially, if I can find it. And if not, he's hooking me up on the rehab.
100%. That's how we do it. And yes, brother, I've got to check out. I've got another client I've got to see in just a couple of minutes.
That's right.
So I'm always love supporting you, brother. I will see you next month. Same place, same channel.
Everybody hit up Sean Young if you need a VA. Later, brother.
Guys, if you need a batch certified virtual assistant, head on over to reiworldsolutions.com. We've got batch certified VAs there.
You're dang right. Thanks, brother.
Thanks. Thank you.
Okay. So everybody, let's call Mark. Let's call him up. Let's say, hey, give him the spiel. I got a property. I'm thinking about flipping, but I'm not 100% sure if I should. Wondering if you got any buyers. Let's give him a call. Remember, we call 2 to 3 times. You know why? Because there's so much spam going on out there. A lot of people don't answer. Let's see. And throw any questions you guys have. I'm down to answer any questions you have in the chat.
You have reached Mark with Butler Realtors.
Let's give him one. Like I said, we got to call a couple times. He'll probably answer the second time.
You have reached Mark with Butler Realtors. please leave a message. I will return your
Leave a
call just
voicemail.
as soon as I can.
Hey, Mark, how you doing? My name's Nathan, and I noticed that you're a real estate agent in the Riverton, Harriman area, and I have a property that I wanted to actually get your expertise on. I'm a flipper, and I'm looking to potentially flip this property that I found on the MLS, and I noticed that you deal with properties kind of in that area, in that price range, and I wanted to kind of pick your brain a little bit before I pull the trigger on this one, because it looks like you work with cash buyers or flippers as well. So wanted to chat with you a little bit. Give me a call. Again, my name's Nathan, and I appreciate it. Thanks. Bye. All right. So he didn't answer. Let's see if we can maybe try and get one more on the phone. One more agent that represents cash buyers in the specific area that I'm looking. And if any of you have any questions, like I said, throw them in the comment section. I definitely want to work with, help you guys out if you need anything. But again, what we're doing is we're looking for real estate agents that represent flippers in this area, the cash buyers, and we're going to ask the agents like, hey, would any of your flippers be interested in this? Have you ever worked with a wholesaler or done any assignments? And if they bring their buyer, then I can pay them a commission. It's pretty simple. Okay, so let's take a look at, so if you guys can see over here, there's a couple listings that are in the $1 million range. Let's take a look at, this is a nice one. It's loading. These vibe boards, they're kind of slow. But again, if you know why I'm using it, it's because I use my computer. Then YouTube that we're streaming on is like, hey, what are you showing information for, buddy? Okay, let's call this one. This is a nice one right here, but 1.3. It's been on the market for, let's see, MLS estimated value. Let's see. Rachel, housekeeper, huh? All right, let's see. Jordan Real Estate. Rachel, housekeeper, Jordan Real Estate. So what you do is you type in their information, because usually Batch will give you the office number. I want their cell phone. So Rachel, housekeeper. Gosh darn it. And then what was it? Real estate. Is that what it's called? There, per brokerage. Jordan Real Estate. Are you kidding me? I gotta type it in again. Rachel, housekeeper. Jordan Real Estate. Okay. Let's give it a shot. Again, any questions, throw them in the chat. I'm down to help out. All right, this is her right here. She seems nice. She seems sweet. Like a nice person. All right, let's give her a call. Hopefully she answers. Sometimes I'm like, hey, these agents don't answer their phones. Like, why are they getting paid? Like, if I had my house listed and I had to call someone twice and they didn't answer, they're fired. You're fired if you don't answer your phone. All right, she's got some actives in here. That's Lehigh, blah, blah, blah. Oh, she's got a Utah. She's got quite a bit of listings on here. She's doing good. Let's go. Taking action.
Hi, you've reached Rachel Housekeeper.
Bro, I'm telling you, everybody, you're firing if you list the house and you call the agent and they don't answer, they're gone. I'm putting that in the contract with them. But I will let you guys know I have a Georgia number, 404, and I'm in. Maybe I should change it one day. I probably will. I'm gonna call her 3 times actually, because I'm not messing around right now.
Hi, you've reached Rachel House.
One more time, Rachel. You don't answer your phone. I work for your clients.
Hi, you've reached Rachel Housekeeper with Jordan Real Estate.
Okay, everybody. Rachel's fired. Michael's fired. They're both fired. Okay, they don't answer the phones. It's fine. They might be in a little meeting, a little powwow, but yeah. Anyway, so this is what you would do. You would look on batch. You'd filter for specific properties in your area that have been flipped. You'd call the agent and you'd pester them and you'd say, hey, look, I'm calling you because I'm about to flip a property. And I noticed that you represent a lot of flippers in the area. And I wanted to ask you, if you think if my numbers are right, if any of your buyers would be interested in buying this instead of me, and I can, I can pay you a little fee, a little commission to bring me to your buyer. We can wholesale it. That's what you do. Very simple. That's how we find a majority of our buyers when we don't do it the painless way. Again, this is kind of the painful way. You got to go find, you got to go find a buyer if you don't have one. I already kind of told you, if you watch this whole scenario, I have a buyer who wants to buy it. And then, we would work together on the back end. And that's something you guys can do as wholesalers too, is you can work with buyers that you don't have to get a wholesale fee or a giant wholesale fee in the beginning. You can get, you can get a smaller one and then get paid on the back end. You can do a note on the property. You can do a lot of things. So don't think just because, the house is not, a home run in the beginning doesn't mean you can't get paid on it. Or sometimes you can get ownership. If you're cool enough with your buyers, you can say, hey, just cut me in a little bit of ownership, give me 10-20% ownership, and I'll take like, a $10,000, $5,000 wholesale fee versus like a 20, right? Because if you want to own real estate, that's a good way to do it. Own the LLC with your buyer that bought the property if he's going to keep it for Airbnb or flip it. So I have a deal in PA trying to do the something. Cool. For the person that says I have a deal in PA, what do you mean trying to do the something? Trying to do the something. Maybe I can help you out. Maybe I can help you out on here. If you give me the address, I can look it up. Let's see. Maybe DM me. I know you're on Facebook, so DM me the address and let me see if I can help you out. Maybe I can tell me the situation. Maybe just write out the situation. Trying to do the same thing. Okay, yeah, trying to do the same thing. Perfect. Okay, gotcha. Yes, I'll DM you now. DM me and I'll look at this property right now before we wrap up, because I'm about to wrap up in a little bit. So let's take a look and we'll see if we can help you out, man. Thanks for watching. Always willing to help. Again, what I'd prefer everyone did is go directly to a market, work in a market and know what buyers want. That's the painless way. But, if you're going to go painful, and it's not that painful, but it's just not painless, you got to go look for buyers. Okay. All right, buddy. DM me. I'm ready for you. Just DM me the address and I will look for it. And by the way, it's very important that you guys work in areas that have flippers. If you go to an area and you work in a location that does not have a lot of people that are trying to flip homes or move into, you're going to have a hard time wholesaling. So being in the right location is pretty dang important. Okay, we got Lenny. Lenny's asking a question. Do you pay the earnest money on market, or is it the buyer after inspection? How do you convince the agent to write the offer sight unseen? Great question, Lenny. Number one, yes. For the first question, do you pay the earnest money on market, or is it the buyer? I get my buyer to pay the earnest money. I don't think I put down earnest money on a property in like the last 3 years because I always have my buyer. I use my buyer's money. Okay. So all this gator lending, all this stuff I hear about, like, guys, earnest money shouldn't be a problem. You should have your buyers before you get to that point where you need to put earnest money down. You give yourself 7 to 14 days to do your inspection. You have your buyer within then, or you find it, and then you use their earnest money. Now, if you're in Texas, I think Texas requires it, but whatever, you use like $100. And if the seller's like, hey, why are you putting down that? You just say, hey, because we have multiple properties we have offers on, we buy it quickly. We don't need to put down a lot of earnest money. We're going to buy it or we're going to bounce. Like, it doesn't matter. They usually understand. It's usually the people that are on the MLS that you're trying to get financing for. They want a lot because you're like, you're going to tie them up for a while. Okay. And how do you convince the agent to write an offer sight unseen? Well, for me, I would just say, hey, look, I work for a company, or I invest all over the country. I'm not physically there. In order to get my team and everyone there, I got to get this under contract, but I've ran the numbers. It makes sense. A lot of the times they don't accept an offer sight unseen is they probably don't trust you. Not saying you're not an untrustworthy person, Lenny, but that's just, they're not sure if they're going to risk their reputation, all that on you. So you got to provide them proof of funds. You got to show them you're legit, get them on the phone, talk the talk, make them feel confident. All right. So we just got a message. We got Kevin McBride. What's up? Good to see you. Good to see you. All right. So we have this property in Pennsylvania. All right. So let's take a look. I'm going to type in your area, and I'm just going to tell you real quick, just by looking at the location, if you got a property that's going to be hard to dispo, because I can kind of just see off of the population and the activity, investor activity. Okay. So this one is in Elkins Park, Pennsylvania. Yes, sir. Okay. Elkins Park, PA. Let's check it out. Okay, let's see. I gotta get my screen back on. Sorry, guys. Come on. All right. Okay, so is this Elkins Park? No, I gotta press search. Okay, let's take me there. Take me there, batch. Let's get it. Okay, it's a duplex. Cool. I like it. All right, let's see. I don't know where this is. I'm gonna zoom out. Let's see where we're looking at. It looks like it's populated. This must be in, this is Philadelphia. Great. Okay. So if this is a duplex, you would want to compare this to other duplexes in the area. So you're going to go to filter. You're going to look for other properties that are for sale. So you're going to go, you're not going to mess around with vacancy and all that stuff. You're looking for agents that represent. You can do a cash buyers list, or like I said, I like to deal with agents. Saves me time. Let's look. So we got residential. No, I'm sorry. This would be commercial because it's a multifamily. Let's make sure that's right. Okay. So we got property types. We have multifamily. Let's just make sure. I think it's down here somewhere. Car wash, blah, blah, blah. I swear it's down here. Let's see. Mixed use, commercial, warehouse. Man, they got everything in here. Wow, Batch, you really coming with it. General, multi-story store. Maybe I'm wrong, guys. Maybe I'm having a brain fart today that it's actually residential. I know after a certain amount of units, it goes commercial. Well, let's see. Yeah, my bad. Okay, so this would be 0 multi-unit, residential, multifamily. There it is, duplex. All right. So we want to see if there's any duplexes out here that are listed, and let's take a look at them. On market, yes. And then I'm not going to mess around with the cash buyer filter yet. I just kind of want to see how many are in this area. Okay. Elkin Park, duplex, MLS status. Actually, let's go active. All right. This gave me 2. It's saying 2. They found 2. That don't look like a duplex. Let me zoom out. Okay. And by the way, I've never done a deal in this area, so kind of having to figure it out. Let's see if there's any duplexes for sale in that area. Okay. All right, here's one. 6419 North. Okay. So we could call on that one. Let's see if it's been updated a little bit. Let me ask you this, that's watching. How much is yeah, you're right. Should be residential 5. That's correct. Anything above 5 is commercial. Let me ask you this, that sent me the property. What price do you have it under contract for, or are you about to get it under contract for? Because I'm seeing one already listed on the MLS for what, 285. So, and by the way, is yours like super? Okay, so 200K. Oh yeah, so there's a couple options when you're doing multifamily, right? So you're either trying to see if it cash flows, if it makes money for you, and if you flip it, you can flip it, but most people want to buy those type of assets for the income, right? So we'd have to see like what the rents are, what the return on investment would be. But anyway, we can still call the agent and say, hey, do you have any, do you have any buyers that are looking to buy more multifamily? So let's call this agent right now. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, you're really just calling agents that are active, that have active listings, and either people have come to them looking for stuff and have lowballed them and they have their info, or they have relationships. So we got Christopher Herbert, and he is at Remax. So we got Christopher Herbert. I'm going to write that down. At Remax. Christopher Herbert, and he's at Remax in PA. Okay, let's see if we can get his info. There he is. He's a broker. All right, let's get it, Herbert. All right, let's give him a call. Yes, let's do it, Herbert. Let's get it. Okay. Hopefully Herbert is alive and well today, and you're ready to get to work. Hello?
Yes, I can help you.
Hey, Christopher, how you doing today?
Good.
Good. Hey, my name's Nathan. I'm calling about one of the listings that you have in Elkin. Well, I guess in the PA area.
Okay.
So I'm just kind of like, just be straight up. I'm an investor. I invest all over the country, and I have a property I came across that's like a duplex in Elkin Park, but I've never invested in Elkin Park. So I was kind of trying to get on the phone with an expert, and I see that you've done quite a bit of work in that area. So I wanted to ask you some questions if you have some time. I'm sorry, what did you say?
What do you have?
Yeah, so basically it's a duplex, and the seller I'm talking to directly is willing to sell it to me for like 200,000. I'm not 100% sure if it's like the best property to like go into at the moment. So sometimes I like to call agents in the area and see if they by chance have any cash buyers they work with that might be interested in, connecting me to, and I can sell them the deal and pay you a commission for bringing me straight to a buyer. So that's kind of, why I was calling.
Where's the property?
Let me see. I can.
So, like, at the end of the day, I can't tell you if it's worth 200,000.
Yeah, of course. I would have to give you a little bit more information, but I just wanted to kind of first establish like what I'm trying to do is like, if I don't flip it myself, I'd like to, potentially give it to you or any of the cash buyers you have, and then, wholesale it to them if you've ever worked with someone to do that before.
So you want to wholesale it?
Potentially, yeah.
Wholesale it.
Yeah. Either wholesale it or, if it makes enough sense for me to keep, then I would. But I would like to know if that's something you'd be open to, if I can get you the details and it makes sense.
I'll tell you what. Normally, what I would do is get the listing
Yeah.
and then sell it to a wholesaler. This is kind of backwards.
So
I'm having a little bit of a reservation.
of course, yeah.
That,
We've never talked before.
Yeah, I don't know you like that. Like,
yeah, of course.
So I would need to see the property to get it evaluated.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, you think better sending me the listing and then let me do the evaluation on the value and get an understanding of what the value is on it.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, you want to pay $200,000.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if it's worth 220,
yeah,
then,
it's not worth it, right?
We'll see. No, it's still worth it for you because it's overvalued and you're going to be able to make your money.
Right. So Herbert,
as the buyer, you'll sign off as the buyer, and then you pull one of your agents in, I'll pull one of your buyers in.
Yeah. So Herbert, I actually don't have any buyers in this area. That's why I was kind of reaching out, is to see, if you had any yourself that you could connect me to. If I got it under contract, let's say I get it under contract for like 150, I'm able to negotiate it that low, and you had a buyer that would be open to taking it at 170, and then I could pay you a commission out of the fee I get for you connecting me to one of your buyers.
Again, we're going right back to.
You got to see the house. You got to see it.
I need to evaluate it because I wouldn't put my buyer on it.
Yeah, unless it makes sense, for sure. Okay, well, I guess that's the next step. I just wanted to make sure you're open to working with me. We never worked together, but at least let's take the next step. I can send you the information about the property, and you can kind of evaluate it, and we can go from there.
All right, good enough.
Hey, Chris,
email?
Yeah, I think I got it online. It's I got your cell phone. Do you want to just text me your email? I don't see it online where I got your info on Remax.
realestatepa@gmail.com. It's pretty simple.
Sorry, your phone broke up a little bit. Let me make sure I write that down. Make sure I get it right. So one more time.
CWH Real Estate PA.
CWH Real Estate at PA. Oh, that is easy. Okay. All right. I'll send you over a text message. I'll send you the details, and if we need to schedule a time for you to check it out, we definitely can. All right.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, Christopher. Later. All right. Bye. Sound like he was in the middle of maybe eating some lunch or something. It's kind of hard to hear him. So that is how to navigate. Guys, it was kind of difficult to hear the guy, but basically with having zero knowledge of this house that you just sent me, I just kind of said what you would need to say. Hey, look, I got this property. I'm thinking about flipping it, but instead wondering if you have any buyers, maybe you could connect me to. I'd pay you a commission out of my wholesale fee, usually like $2,000 to $3,000, whatever you can negotiate. You got this guy's info. So I will send you his email, send this guy the information. He could either maybe list it for you and pay you on the side, or, he can connect you. But to be honest, just off of looking at the information that's on here, I don't think 200,000 is probably a big enough drop. I'd have to dive deeper into the comps. But I'm just looking at what I got. So I'm sending you right now his email. See, real estate pa@gmail.com. And you got his number, you got his name, so you can hit him up too. But that's it. And you do a couple of those, you're going to find some agents that are willing to work with you. And they should have cash buyers. I mean, that's what they do. They focus on a specific area. And that's why, like, if I'm not doing it in my own my own major market, like Salt Lake City, Atlanta, Florida, if I'm not doing in those areas where I have like solid buyers and relationships, I'm going directly to agents because they have those relationships. Real estate is a relationship-based business. The more relationships you have, the more deals you can do. You can at least sell them to. So that's why we use agents, and batch is perfect for using real estate agents because they have agent directories. You can specifically go to areas where they have agents, they have listings. So you're welcome. Hopefully that was helpful. Go take action. And guys, I got to bounce. I got to go. But if you are seeing the little link that's going across the bottom, register for our free masterclass. If you like the way I teach, if you like what I'm talking about, we have a free masterclass that we're teaching tomorrow. Everybody's welcome. All you have to do is just go register at painlessflipping.com. I'll show you what it looks like. And no, that's painless. Wrong one. Sorry. Painlessflipping.com. Yeah, painlessflipping.com. For some reason, when I'm on this internet, it trips out on that website, but it does work. I promise. Okay. All right. Well, hopefully that was helpful. I know some other people had some questions. I know Mac, you said, can you look at mine? Mac, I got a dip, but that's what I do. If you work with me in my mentorship, I specifically help you get your deals done. You know, if you work in my mentorship. So peace out, everybody. Use batch leads. If you don't have batch leads, DM me. I'll give you a link that specifically gives you a discount, and I'll hook it up. Actually, let me just put that link in right now. Actually, let's see. You got the batch leads, blah blah blah. Yeah, if you haven't tried it, use this link, and you will be able to get a free trial. Okay, and I'm not gonna fluff it. They hook me up. They hook me up if you sign up. You know, they give me a little cheese. All right. And if you're not an affiliate of Batch, you should, because Batch is dope. They're awesome. Okay, so I just threw that link in there for everybody in there. That's it. That's all I got. Peace. Take action. Get some deals. Later.